Hello campers, this week I'll be talking about moisture or lack thereof on the chanter reed and how it affects it. Earlier, playing a dry reed can make it sound very shrill, won't have any body to it, and maybe a little bit higher pitched. There won't be much character to the top hand. I experienced this once when I was, well, more than once, but I was up at Golden, Colorado when I was much younger, back in the 80s, and competing up there. I'd never experienced it before because I'd recently come over from Britain, and everything went straight through the roof, and I couldn't quite figure out how to fix that. So it was just it was very uncomfortable actually, but now I've got some idea. I'm a bit older, a bit more experienced. It's the moisture content up there. And also you'll find that when you get up there, the blades will close up a little bit because of the atmosphere. Canes are very volatile things at times, but there are certain things you can guarantee are going to happen, such as that. So if I was playing up there now, I would most certainly put a sponge in my pipe bag, but that could be a bit of a problem with sheepskin or something like that, because you can't get it in. If you do get it in, it's going to be a bugger to get out. So other thing you can do, I don't know if you've seen these sponges for practice chanters that you can put around the bottom, and it soaks up moisture as you're playing. Well, you could do it in a kind of reverse order. You can put the sponge over here just at the base of the pipe chanter reed, and before you put it on, soak it. Make sure it's really soaked. So the moisture is going to come up there, especially if it's at altitude and reasonably hot. You know, you will get a better sound. And you may even have to open the mouth a wee bit with a mandrel. So there's that. As far as getting it too wet is concerned, it will kind of drown the reed, and it will change pitch quite quickly. You'll find it getting lower pitched and will become a bit dull. So I'm talking about sea level, and where I am, as it's like 90% humid in the summer, so can be a problem. So a good water control system, moisture control system, is important. Just keep moisture off, and you can adjust most of them, so you can adjust the amount of water reaching the reed. So you want a certain amount, but not too much. It's just, you know, you just have to figure it out for yourself. There's no exact answer to that one. So when I start playing, I never keep my reed in anything. I keep it in my pipe chanter, because I've got one of those my pitch guards in, and I can turn the top off, and it acts like a reed cap, and it retains some of that moisture. But even so, some people like these devices that you can put your reeds in, and you can monitor the amount of humidity, the moisture that's in the air, and maintain that in your reeds. Well, I've never seen the point in doing that, but if it works for you, that's great. What I'll do, the reed will be dry when I pick it up, most likely. I'll just blow warm air through it. Don't touch the tips. I'm just blowing warm air through it for about 30 seconds, and that moisture from your lungs that you're blowing in there, and that warmth will soften the cane and make it that much thicker in a sound as to where you'd be getting if it was completely dry. So there's that, and it will also help you develop some more character to your top hand. And when you start playing, you're introducing moisture. I mean, when you start playing your pipes on a day where you normally would for practice, you're introducing moisture to all the reeds, and once that moisture becomes constant, you're playing for like 10-15 minutes, that your pipe should be more or less stable there, or at least much more stable than it was before. So there's that to consider as well. So just blow into the reed for 30 seconds and get that moisture on there. I've seen people lick the tips. I've never done that. I've never had the need to do that, but I can understand sometimes with the, especially with the Rigicut reeds, that they sometimes they need a little bit extra up the top there. So I find that just blowing through it is enough, but some people like to wet the tips. It may make the reed last slightly less time than it normally would, but there's nothing in saliva that's going to damage the reed. I mean, it's impervious to whatever stuff's it, and there may be some, I don't know, I'm not a scientist, but anyway, it's going to be fine. But again, don't overdo it, don't make it too wet, because when you put it away you may get moisture on it. If you start seeing moisture, you know that you've been putting it away too wet or getting it too wet. Take it out. If you see the slightest bit of mould, take it out, put it in a jar with some hydrogen peroxide in, 1% hydrogen peroxide. You can buy it anywhere. Just leave it in there for 30 seconds or so. That'll kill any mould. Take it out, wash it through with some clean water, blow it through. Obviously once the hydrogen peroxide's gone, and then you should be good once the reed's dried up a wee bit. So, and just be careful, that mould will actually make a reed die very, very quickly. Anyway, so that's that. I hope it's been helpful to you, and again, I will see you next week.